We have details on scrapped plans for Cody Rhodes from SmackDown, plus an update on Jade Cargill and the Backstage reaction to her return, and an update on an absent top AEW star. It's all in the Cultaholic Wrestling news right now. Cody Rhodes on SmackDown cut a divine promo.
Oh, divine?
I really liked it. Yeah. Very well put together. Telling John Cena, if you want some, come get some. Now, apparently, this wasn't the only thing that Cody was meant to be doing on SmackDown.
Yes, according to Fightful Select, on the internal SmackDown run sheets, Rhodes was also listed as having a backstage interaction with R-Truth. However, that didn't end up happening when Fightful asked why it didn't happen. It didn't get a firm answer, but the speculation backstage was it would have affected the gravity of Rhodes' promo before, and I fully see that rationale, because last week, the week prior to Friday, we saw R-Truth in Cody's private locker room given to him by the fan of house, going like, don't be shellfish, while eating some seafood. It was great, honestly, but before Cody Rhodes' promo of that ilk, as you say, a divine one at that, it would have felt a little bit like they were undercutting it a bit.
Yeah, I think so. And also, I think maybe I've got a theory on what they're going to do on Monday's Raw next week in Brussels.
Are they going to sprout? No, it doesn't matter. It's time to go. Time to go. It's over.
You can't go yet. I've got another 7.5 minutes. I had this thought, right? I think because there's obviously R-Truth is devastated by his childhood hero, John Cena.
Oh, yeah.
I think Cena is going to batter R-Truth in Brussels. I would love to see it.
If it can't be a child, then R-Truth is the next best thing.
So I think they're going to keep I think on Raw we have Cena come out and address the crowd, call them all rubbish and all that stuff. Boo, wabba, boo.
I lied to you for 20 years.
Give up, kids. And then R-Truth comes out and he's like, "Hey, you're my childhood hero. What have you done?" Cena seems to maybe apologise to R-Truth, then clatters him and just beats him within an inch of his life.
Shaves him bald.
Oh, bloodies him.
Rips out his piercings.
Tears him asunder.
Makes him eat raw fish. Don't be shellfish, R-Truth.
So I think that's what they do, and I think maybe keeping R-Truth off that, obviously, it didn't take away from the gravity and the gravitas of what Cody was saying on SmackDown, but I think maybe it keeps a potential segment between R-Truth and John Cena a little secret until next week.
It needs to happen at some point this year, a segment with R-Truth and Cody.
They made such a point to kind of have John Cena and R-Truth sort of spiritually aligned that it makes sense to have Cena's first real victim be R-Truth.
Yeah.
You know, someone who looked up to throughout his childhood. That's what it's got to be. Also on SmackDown, we saw the big reveal of the whodunit. It was Naomi after all. I know.
The tears from both ladies in that segment. Hand them the Oscars now.
Oh, just both genuinely very upset with the whole situation. Bianca Belair is walking up the ramp as Jade Cargill gets out of her car, and then Bianca just goes, "There you go."
I tell you, Jade spilled tomato sauce all over herself eating a McDonald's before the show. It was on a white outfit as well. It was unbelievable.
That's why you don't wear white to Macca's. Five will say one long-time WWE employee said they felt like it was the first time Naomi had the opportunity to be highlighted in a promo like that with substance, and she excelled. There was also heavy praise for Bianca Belair's reaction and Jade Cargill, in addition to the writing, the producing, and the camera work. At least half a dozen people Fightful spoke to over the weekend spoke highly of the segment and all involved, from production, writing to Jade Cargill, Naomi, and Bianca Belair. And for those asking, we heard of no issues with Jade Cargill at SmackDown this week. There was a story that came out just before the weekend that Jade Cargill and Shayna Baszler had a little bit of a to-do backstage. And apparently no such issues this week. Well, because she arrived late, as we saw. She pulled up halfway through the show, did the thing, and then presumably just drove off, maybe to go and finish her Mackies.
Yeah, well, all the tomato sauce down a white outfit.
Actually, that's a body that has never had a Mackies. I'm just saying. This is a body that's had a Mackies.
I've had two.
And that is not a body that has had a Mackies.
But yeah, it was a fantastic segment again. SmackDown was littered with fantastic segments last week, because I've been a little bit down on SmackDown, thinking, is it a little bit boring from time to time?
You've been smacked down.
I have been smacked down, but now I'm smack up.
We're now smack
my bitch up. It's great again.
I watched SmackDown live the other week and I just went, this is just a nightmare to get through. This is awful. And night and day this week, I thought wonderfully put together, well put together nicely. It's nice to see. And we want to take a moment before we crack on to thank our friends at Gamer Supps. GG Energy, delivering long-lasting energy at a fraction of the cost of your canned energy drinks. It comes in a whole bunch of wonderful flavors. We've got the black cherry one and the mango one upstairs. I've been devouring the mango one on a morning.
Do you want to eat some guacamole Gamer Fart 9000 there, Tom?
I am fascinated by this flavour. That is one for me to try later.
That's why I'm feeling a little bit fruity this morning, because I am full of guacamole Gamer Fart 9000.
If you're a streamer, if you're a gamer, it helps you perform at your peak, takes the edge off compared to a lot of other ones as well. And you can get a free sample and 10% off your first order if you go to cultaholic.com/gamersupps and use the code word Cultaholic at checkout. See what it's all about.
Tell you who would love these supplements here, Tom.
Go on.
The WWE ID talent this WrestleMania week, because they're going to need their energy, because they're allowed to wrestle places, not everywhere, but places.
They are indeed, but are they actually wrestling in places? That is the question that we are asking this morning based on a tweet that WWE ID put out yesterday.
A reminder to all independent wrestling promoters, dramatic ellipsis inserted right now. You can book all hashtag WWE ID talent in your promotion. This includes all hashtag WWE ID talent who are getting exposure on hashtag WWE Evolve. Contact talent individually for booking info. What does it mean? Well, I'll tell you what it means, Tom. It means that everyone thought, oh, they've now got WWE in their title now. We can't touch them.
It seems that way. Yeah. It seems whether there's been a miscommunication or a misunderstanding of what WWE ID means. And also, I mean, we talked about this a little bit upstairs. The NXT UK experiment that they had, which saw WWE hire a bunch of indie UK names and essentially allow them to work the independents, and then all of a sudden just go, actually, no, you can't. So I get the reluctance from some companies to put stock into a WWE ID talent, knowing at any point WWE could just go, no, you're not working there anymore.
Because if there's one thing we know, especially from the UK times for the WWE, the only one thing they care about is themselves. They don't care about the scenes of wherever they're sending their contracted talents. Who's to say if a WWE ID talent has a banger of a match against an independent talent who maybe has an indie belt of that promotion, like their top champion, and just gets plucked, and then that top promotion has to then scrabble to find a new champion? I can see that happen in WrestleMania week.
I could see that happening as well. One person who has recently booked WWE ID talent is Scott D'Amore. He's putting on the next Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling Weekend of Mayhem this weekend. We chat about working with WWE ID talent. You can hear what Scott had to say about it and what he has to say about the upcoming weekend of shows and his big plans for Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling in an exclusive interview on the Cultaholic Wrestling News podcast feed right now. Let's head over to AEW, an absent star that has made my heart grow fonder.
Oh, yeah, my heart is palpitating.
Oh, I get that checked if I were you.
Eddie Kingston shared a lovely black and white picture, my goodness me, with the caption, "Love is the highest elevation of understanding. I don't understand AEW anymore after last night. Why come back SMH?"
Kingston was scheduled to return from injury after 12 months on the sidelines around April time, but he said in previous interviews he wasn't going to rush if he wasn't ready to do it. He's previously said that if he didn't feel like he was in a position to come back, then he wouldn't. Chris Featherstone of Sportskeeda has said that Eddie Kingston is considering retiring, saying his frustration isn't with AEW per se, but the general landscape of wrestling. Now, I don't think this is the case at all, and nor do you.
No. Eddie Kingston sharing that on Instagram just feels like the perfect remedy to someone challenging Jon Moxley and finally ending Jon Moxley to me.
I think, and I moaned yesterday about the fact that we seem to not have an end complete for Death Riders. We have it. It's Eddie Kingston heading to the ring with a petrol can, setting them all on fire. Yeah. That's how we end the Death Riders thing. Brilliant. It's Eddie Kingston who comes back, just batters his way through them, takes back the title. Happy days.
Plenty of history between him and Moxley, both together and apart, for better or for worse. You know what I'm referencing there. Kaboom!
I think, honestly, put the Mad King on the throne as soon as, and I feel like that particular message is out there to make people, to remind people that Eddie Kingston is out there, and also to kind of cast some doubt on whether or not he'd come back and save the day. Whether we have AEW stars suddenly pleading for Eddie to come back. Say, for example, Swerve is unsuccessful in beating Moxley, which after this Eddie Kingston tweet, I now kind of feel like he might be.
It could go either way, couldn't it? One thing we know for sure is that we're going to get at least one more Cope title match, because Cope, of course, wasn't pinned, was he? Or submitted at the end of that main event, so got to keep Cope strong.
There's still hope for Cope. There is still hope for
But
Cope.
if the storyline's not going to go back to its original thing, which I thought was a great idea of elevating people who weren't the main event scene to main event status, then having Eddie Kingston in the Cope role would be a lot more fitting for me.
How do you mean? It was perfectly successful. Orange Cassidy headlined against Moxley, and he was on the buy-in on Saturday. It worked perfectly. Don't know what you're talking about.
Well, it's Daniel Garcia.
And Daniel Garcia, who is a champ.
Where's Darby Allin? What's Darby Allin gone?
Darby Allin, who is up a mountain. He'll be back in a minute. You better get back quick. Just jump off it. There we go.
Yeah.
Coffin drop all the way down. Land on Moxley. Take the title. That's another alternative.
It writes itself.
It's right itself, and it's what we want to happen. Hold and give day.
4 p.m. GMT. I'll be kicking the soccer balls on the EAFC 25 with Sunderland. Come and watch a title run-in right now. No, not right now. I mean, I can't do it now. It's over there. I can't do it here.
It's the streaming area is just there.
Just over there.
Yeah, it's just a fun little fact.
Should we no, I'm not going to tilt the camera.
Can we tilt?
Oh, no, Owen will go mad. I don't want to get beaten up again
Just
by Owen.
imagine it over there.
I've been beaten up by Owen once and I did not enjoy it. Oh,
Maybe in a future news video.
Did I, Daddy Owen?
Maybe watch the stream. Ross will show you the streaming area. You could shoot the camera from this way and show. Hey, that's a hook in it.
Yeah.
Hook in a tease after Ed Sheeran. You could spin the camera so you could show people the news area.
Yes.
There you go.
You see Andrew's lovely anime pillow in the corner there, covered in chicken juice.
Yep, that's exactly what it is.
4 years ago.
That's exactly what it is. Chicken juice. For the very latest wrestling news at any time, you can check out cultaholic.com. Stay safe. Love you. Bye.